Welcome and thank you so much for checking out my review of the latest episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the final season, the third episode, On the Wings of Kiradax. Now, a disclaimer before we get into the actual review, I will have to spoil in each review the previous episodes, but I will never spoil to you the current episodes that I'm reviewing. So today we are not spoiling episode 3, but we will have to talk about events from episodes 1 and 2. So unless you don't care about spoilers, you should go check out those episodes before you watch this. With Echo recovered, Rex, the Bad Batch, and Anakin Skywalker look to fight their way out of a Separatist base. This episode is more action-packed than any of the previous two. I love how from the get-go we just get into it. There's barely anything besides action in this episode, and I really love it. My favorite episode out of the three, I'd still say, is the first one, but this one is really good. There's the sequence where they're like in this tube that connects these giant platforms of the base. There's nothing underneath them, just sky, and so they're going to fall to their deaths if they actually fall. Suddenly they are surrounded by droids, but Tech, one of the members of the Bad Batch, remembers that he recorded the creatures that they flew on in the last episode where they met the locals, and so he calls on to them. Apparently he records everything he hears. It's a bad habit, I guess. And so they jump onto these creatures, and unfortunately what this causes is for the locals to feel betrayed, because now the Bad Batch, Rex and Anakin, have brought inadvertently the war onto their people. And so, just like any good general, they admit their faults and they rally these people to fight onto the droids. Again, I'm not spoiling anything, but there really isn't much to spoil in this episode. It's just that. Just action. This is the premise. This is like the first 5 minutes, and then there's battle, and I love it. There's barely anything concretely to talk about, just that the animation is fantastic, the action is stupendous. I enjoy seeing how the Bad Batch works in like a big battle, and Rex and Anakin on command. Even seeing Echo shoot droids around was really gratifying. It felt like a good payoff to wanting this character to be safe, and seeing him back, even though he's all half machine and he's very pale and he looks very sickly, which hits you in the heartstrings if you follow this show and if you like this character, which I really do. But seeing him there side to side with Rex was just so gratifying. It put a smile on my face. And again, the action is really fantastic. I noticed that the droids, once they reveal they can fly, they look like Bionicles, specifically that bird-like Bionicle that was in the second movie, Legends of Metro Nui. I don't know if anyone watching this video gets that reference, but that's what it looked like to me. And then there's a moment at the very end that raised my eyebrow. I can't go into it, I really can't, but interesting to see how things will proceed from now on. I guess the mini arc within the season is done because it doesn't feel like there's much more to do in this planet, but I could be wrong. Again, I love how this episode just gets into it, gets it done, and it pulls no punches, really. So that's kind of a review for this episode, I guess. Again, there's not really much to talk about unless I was going into spoilers, but it's big action, bombastic action with lightsabers and guns. I love it for what it was, but again, there's not really much concrete to pick apart in this episode. Now, what did you think of the latest episode of Clone Wars, my beautiful geekies, On the Wings of Kiradax, or Kidarax, or something like that? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching once more. Check out my review of the previous episodes for the season of Clone Wars. The reviews are on the channel, and I'll leave a link for the latest one, the previous one, at the end of this video. Thank you so much once more. You are the best. Stay tuned for more videos and reviews very soon. And so until the next one, stay beautiful, stay geeky, don't forget to subscribe and like, because it really helps me and the channel out. But most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.